Kumbhakarna and his siblings were brought up on Mount Gandhamadana at their father's ashram. Their parents were Vishravas and Kaikasi. Looking at his half brother Kubera as the king of Yakshas, Kumbhakarna and his brothers were jealous. They engaged in tapasya for 1,000 years in the forest, standing on one foot, but Brahma did not show himself. Despite another 1,000 years passing, Brahma did not appear. Ravan then offered his 10 heads to Brahma, prompting Brahma to finally reveal himself. Brahma restored Ravan's head and granted a boon that he could only be killed by a human. This blessing caused tension among the Devas, who feared the result if Kumbhakarna were to receive a similar boon. At their request, Saraswati influenced Kumbhakarna's speech when he asked for his boon. Although he wanted to request Nirdevatvam, that is, absence of all devas, he instead asked for Nidravatvam, absence of sleep, due to Saraswati's manipulation. Brahma fulfilled this request. Kumbhakarna would now sleep uninterrupted for 6 months each year. Vibhishan received a boon to always remember righteousness in tough situations and the ability to use the Brahmastra without any prior training. After receiving these boons, the brothers returned home, displaced Kubera, the lord of Lanka, and claimed it as their own kingdom. There was no one in the whole of Indralok who could defeat Kumbhakarna. He was very powerful and also the strongest person in the universe. Indra was jealous of him as his army could not beat him. Kumbhakarna had a huge capacity when it came to food. When he woke up for a day, he gobbled up everything. Even before the curse, Kumbhakarna would eat massive amounts of food. This made Brahma and Saraswati fear that he might swallow the entire universe. Kumbhakarna was also a great philosopher. Sage Narad had taught Kumbhakarna philosophy. Violence did not really excite Kumbhakarna. He was well aware that fighting Ram was wrong, but he did not want to let down his brother. He stood by him, knowing that Ravan's actions were wrong, unlike Vibhishan, another brother of Ravan who went on to the other side. During the war, Ram and his army humiliated Ravan, so he decided to seek Kumbhakarna's help. It was with great difficulty that the sleeping demon was awakened. On learning the circumstances that led to the war, he tried his best to convince Ravan to release Sita and end the war. But Ravan's pride and ego did not allow him to do the right thing. When Kumbhakarna realized that his advice was falling on deaf ears and that Ravan would not reverse his decision, he chose to help his brother and fight in the battle. Kumbhakarna was loyal and patriotic. He took pride in his ancestry and the glory of the demon's rule. Under Ravan, the kingdom of Lanka had prospered greatly. So when Ravan appealed to his brother to help uphold the glory of their forefathers, the name and honor of their clan and dynasty, Kumbhakarna had no choice but to agree to fight for Ravan. Kumbhakarna led the Asura army into battle and created havoc on Ram's army. He killed many Vanaras and ate them. He even wounded the powerful Hanuman and made Sugriv unconscious. Kumbhakarna was an expert in assuming various illusionary forms to confuse the enemy. It was not easy to attack him, as he could create many replicas of himself. All the missiles and arrows of the enemy's army could not strike him. Also, Kumbhakarna would create a rain of fire that engulfed the enemy. This led to utter chaos in Ram's army. To counterattack Kumbhakarna's tactic, Ram caused it to rain, which put out the fire. Kumbhakarna then created a rain of stones, and Ram countered it by creating a protective cover. In this manner, the battle raged for quite some time. Finally, Ram attacked the demon using the Indrastra, the divine weapon of Indra. Kumbhakarna's head was cut and smashed several buildings before it fell into the sea. On hearing the news of his beloved brother's death, Ravan fainted and cried that he was doomed. Supposedly, Kumbhakarna uttered the words Jai Shri Ram before he died and attained moksha. Ravan, although aggressive and arrogant, was also a scholar. Guru Vishrava made Ravan proficient in the 4 Vedas, the holy books and warcraft techniques. Ravan was also an expert in black magic and Ayurveda. Ravan was also an excellent Veena player. His flag sign had a picture of a Veena on it. The brothers performed tapasya for 11,000 years and won boons from Brahma. It is believed that Ravan chopped off his head 10 times during his intense tapasya as a sacrifice to please Lord Brahma. Each time he cut his head off, a new head would appear, thus allowing him to continue his tapasya. Finally, Shiva, pleased with him, appeared after he chopped his 10th head and offered him a boon. The 10-headed king asked for immortality, which Shiva refused to give. However, he gave Ravan a celestial nectar drink that would make him immortal. The nectar was stored under Ravan's navel, and he could not be defeated as long as it lasted. Ravan added he wouldn't be killed by gods, Gandharvas, Kinnars, Apsaras, heavenly spirits, other Rakshasas, serpents, and wild beasts. Mocking the mortal men, he did not ask for protection from these. Shiva granted him these boons in addition to his 10 heads and great strength by knowledge of divine weapons and magic. Thus, Ravan is known as Dashamukha or Dashanan. His 10 heads represent lust, anger, delusion, greed, pride, envy, mind, intellect, will, and ego. All these constitute the 10 heads, and so Ravan has all these 10 qualities. Under the scholarly Ravana, Lanka saw great advancements in science and medicine. The Pushpak Viman or the airplane which he flew is held as an example of great scientific achievements made during his regime. During his immature attempt to seize Kailash, he became a lifelong disciple of Lord Shiva. Then, pleased with his devotion, Shiva gave him the divine sword Chandrahas. During this incident, he acquired the name Ravan, meaning he of the terrifying roar, given to him by Shiva. The earth is said to have quaked at Ravan's cry of pain when the mountain was pinned on him. Ravan became a lifelong devotee of Shiva and is said to have composed the Shiva Tandav Stotram. Ravan is named as a womanizer. There is a mention of Vedavati, the daughter of Brahmarishi Kusadwaja. Ravan found Vedavati sitting in meditation and is captivated by her incredible beauty. He proposes to her and is rejected. Ravan mocks her and he grabs her hair and assaults her. This greatly disturbed her, and she cut off her hair and said she would enter into the fire before his eyes, adding, "Since I have been insulted in the forest by you, I shall be born again for your destruction." She was born again as Sita and was the cause of Ravan's death, though Lord Ram was the agent. In another instance, Ravan is also said to have tried to abuse Ramba, an Apsara engaged to Lord Kuber's son. In a moment of anger, Lord Kuber put a curse on Ravan. He warned Ravan that if he ever tried to force himself on any woman, all of his 10 heads would fall off. This is one of the reasons why he did not touch Sita when she was abducted. Many believe that it was Vibhishan who betrayed his own brother Ravan and became the reason for the latter's death. However, as per legends, it was Mandodari who was unaware of how indirectly she became a part of the treachery that led to her husband's death at the hands of Lord Ram. It became obvious that killing Ravan was turning next to impossible. So Vibhishan disclosed the secret about Ravan's navel, where his soul was kept hidden due to a boon. He also informed Lord Ram that no mortal weapon could ever diminish Ravan's soul, but only a magical arrow, which was kept in the safety of Mandodari. On Lord Ram's nod, Hanuman flies back to Ravan's castle in the middle of the battle, disguised as a Brahmin saint. He secretly enters Mandodari's room and tricks her into revealing the location where she hid the magical bow. Just when he was about to fly away after obtaining it, Mandodari realized how she was tricked into disclosing the weapon of her husband's death. After Mandodari saw Ravan's lifeless body, she cursed Hanuman saying, "For whom you tricked me shall be taken away from you one day. Like today, I have to live in grief, you too shall live forever in grief." In this way, Jai and Vijay's second incarnation, Kumbhakarn and Ravan, were killed by Ram and his army. The next video will be on the third incarnation of Jai and Vijay, that is Dantavakra and Shishupal. Please stay tuned. Thank you for watching.